Tom Campbell here. I and MBT Events hope you like this video. If you find something of significant value in our videos, please consider supporting their production through our Patreon account or through a one-time donation. It would be very much appreciated. The links are in the description below. Thank you.
Hello, Tom. Could you please help me with this question which I've been trying to solve for a long time? Do different people live in different realities with different laws of physics? Thank you. So much appreciated.
Okay, well, this question is really about individual reality. And all of us live in our own reality. Okay, and the things we come into in this life, the experiences that we have, and how we develop, how we grow, the amount of beliefs we have, the ego that we have, the fear that we have, all of these things affect how we interpret the data. And when we interpret that data, that is our reality. However we interpret that data, that is our reality. Okay, that's the way we see it. Okay, so yes, everybody can live in their own reality. Now, it's not true that we live in the same reality with a different physics. There is just one rule set, and the physics is the same everywhere. It's just a matter of what you believe and what you don't believe, how you interpret the data, and that then creates your own personal reality. But the physics isn't different for different people. Again, everybody lives in their own reality, but we all share the same rule set in this virtual reality. And the rule set is what we test basically when we see how our models work or don't work. So that's the way to look at this. You can make up your own model. And if that model works for you, then fine, go along with your life. Be your own experimenter. Which model seems to work? Which model allows you to control things? Which model allows you to deal with this thing in a more profitable way? And that would be the model that would be the best guess of what's going on so far. Does the model work? Now, whether everything is true about them that we think is true about them, that's different. That's a different thing. Are those things true? Again, experimental evidence. Does that information or does that model work, or does it not work? So that's kind of the way the everyday person has to look at life. So always be open-minded for alternative models and other ways of looking at things, you see, because we can get caught in belief traps real easily. And sometimes our culture has beliefs, and we just take those beliefs on as truth because they're in our culture. So always be open-minded, always be skeptical, but also always be practical. What works? What allows you to deal effectively with things that are in the world? And that's where you need to put your money. So you kind of have to look and say, well, what am I going to believe? Am I going to believe all these people, or am I going to believe that person? And now when you decide that, again, don't go to a 1 or a 0. Don't say, well, these people are obviously right. They're a 1. And this other person's an idiot. He's a 0. I would say don't do that. You don't have to come to a conclusion. Live your life by your own experience based on what works for you. So try different things. Try it, this way. Try it that way. Say, okay, I'll try things different ways and see how it works. Life is an experiment. You do stuff and then you come to conclusions, but you can't just do one experiment and say that's it, you see, because there's lots of variables involved, and one experiment probably isn't going to do it. You need consistent experiments that work in a particular way to, so it's not as easy as just checking it once. You have to check it multiple times under multiple circumstances, and then you build your own model of reality about how things work. And that's perfectly fine. It's not that everybody needs to believe this, and if you don't, you're stupid. That's not good. You need to be open-minded, and people need to create their own models of reality and live by them and test them and see where that takes them, because that will help you grow up if you do that. So it's not, what should I believe? It's believe whatever you want, but test it and see how it works for you. And then change the way you see things, change the probabilities on those things based on your own experience. Read about it, educate yourself on the subject. Look what kind of evidence is available for this side or the other side. Always be open-minded, but don't get in the spot where all I can do is believe it or not believe it. And what should I do? Neither one is a good idea. Take try to understand it the best you can, and then try to figure it out with your own experiments and adjust the probabilities accordingly. So that's the way you should go through life. But no, you only have one set of rules in this virtual reality, and everybody lives by those same rules. How we interpret those rules and the stories we make up to explain things to ourselves, well, that's not necessarily the way it is. That's just the way maybe a lot of people think it is. But if you always think for yourself, and you're always skeptical, and you're always open-minded, and you always go out and find your own data, you don't believe anything. You just find your own data and make up your mind that way. Well, then you'll do the best you can. So that's the way I would, suggest that you approach it. Not, should I believe this or should I believe that? Don't believe either. See what life tells you. See what your experience tells you.
All right. Thank you very much, Tom.
I and MBT Events hope you liked this video. We will continue to post videos for free on my YouTube channel, but please understand, these videos are expensive to produce. They represent many thousands of hours of production and editing, as well as all the necessary audiovisual equipment, computers, and software. If you find something of significant value in our videos, please consider supporting their production through our Patreon account or through a one-time donation. It would be very much appreciated. The links are in the description below. Thank you.